Oh, well, greetings, 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 everyone. We're so excited to be here today. And thank you for being here. Thank you for being our supporters. We appreciate it that you tune in and you find value in what we say. And as we get started today, uh, when we really think about it, we got to pace ourselves. We got work to do, but we can't do it haphazardly or shabby. And the word tells us that faith, what is it? Um, I know it just slipped my mind.
Faith comes by hearing.
No, about the swift, but to
Oh,
him
no,
that
faith
endureth to the
to
that
the situation.
endureth to the
Mhm.
end. And
Amen.
that's what we want to do. We don't want to be swift, but we want to be wise. We want to be slow and make it to the end. So, as Apostle tells us, it's a slow cook. So, we want you to pace yourself. Let's get started. Today, we're going to talk about pacing yourself. And, when even when I look in the mirror, I'm grateful that I'm in my right mind. I had the activities of my limbs. And that, one thing my girls always laugh at me because I can mess up a word. I can mess up a word. And I might say something and want to call the other and say, guess what mommy just said? But even in that, if I didn't take it lightly, I could be offended. I can begin to beat myself up. But because I'm learning every day how to take things in stride, not to rush it, not to overthink it, but to allow the Lord to do what He needs to do. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm sitting up here trying to think of the words. I do want to say welcome to everyone that's here, and I want to say welcome, Apostle Walker. We're glad to see you, and everyone else. We're just so glad to see you. But when you look in the mirror, I hope you're not saying, is life worth living? Not at this point, because every Sunday we open up the mirror and we say, if you're saying if life's worth living or why am I here, then you need to look past what you're thinking. Take that thinking cap off and begin to realize that you're still healed because He touched you with the finger of love and He woke you up this morning in His grace. He woke you up this morning through His love, and He has even today a purpose for you. So, as I always say, I always talk about purpose. I want you to know that purpose aligns you for your destiny. And if you don't see that, then you're clouded. Then you can't see clearly. And I'm going to play um, what we like to play every week. And then Minister Wanda is going to talk to you. And we talk about the power of your words every week.
do to my sign?
I wrote the same, but in different words.
Thanks, love.
Such a powerful video in itself. Few things that I noticed this time that I hadn't noticed before. In the beginning, you see groups of people talking and laughing, enjoying themselves. You see one lady sitting and watching as people go by, observing in her own world. And everybody in the beginning is enjoying themselves, laughing. No one's paying them attention. People are walking by. You also see a lot of black too. A lot of the people had black on. One lady with a red coat, right? Things that I observe with my eyes that I see that he could not see. And he says, his sign says, I can't see. It either says, I was going to make sure I got it this time. It
I'm
is,
blind.
I'm blind, help me. That's what it says. And some people are, most of the people, the majority of people are just walking by, not paying him attention. He's blending in. It's just another person sitting there begging, right? A few people are tossing a few coins there and they're walking. And as a matter of fact, she's getting ready to walk straight by him, but she notices his sign and takes it and begins to write on it. And what she wrote on it was different from what he wrote. He said, I'm blind, help me.
Please help me.
And
Please help me.
yes. And even though it's an appeal, the circumstances or the situation written on the sign is the absolute truth. He's blind. He's blind and he needs help. It's the truth. But it's the wording that was not getting the people to pay attention to him. So she takes the sign and she changed the words, told him it's the same message, different words. And she states that it's a beautiful day, but I can't see it. That in itself made people not just look at him, I believe. I believe that those words began to make people examine themselves and see how blessed they are, and the fact that I'm not sitting here having to ask for help. I'm not sitting here and I can't see, even though it's a gloomy day, looks like it just finished raining. They're like, you know what? I'm not in the circumstance or the situation he is. This grabs my attention. I'm grateful. And out of my gratefulness, let me help him. What does that mean? That means that your circumstance, your situation, the way you view it could be absolutely the truth. But when you change your word about that situation, you change your world. He still was blind. He still needed help. But the fact of the matter is, it really was a beautiful day. The outlook of the day, the fact that we woke up, the fact that he still had the activities of his limbs. He just didn't have one of his senses. I can guarantee you his hearing was heightened. His sense of smell was heightened. His ability to touch was heightened, but he just had one thing that everybody else didn't have. He couldn't see. His circumstance was still the same. But when you change your words, you change your world. And whatever you might be going through, your perspective of that thing, when you change how you speak on it, you change the outcome on it. or the outcome of it. Immediately when that sign changed, people became more intentional about him. They made sure he got money. They made sure it, some of them even made sure it went in the tin can. Some of them put it on the cardboard, but they made sure it was close so that he could hear it and sense it and feel it and it be within his grasp. People became more intentional about him. The last thing, and then I'm done, is that I thought about it the other week and I thought about it again today. She still did not put anything in that can, but what she did give him was priceless. James and John at the gate, um, silver and gold have I none, but such as I have, I give to you. And that's what she did to him. She gave him her outlook. She gave him her perspective. She gave him her heart. Might not have put any money in that can, which would have only lasted for a little while. But what she did give him would last him for a lifetime and change his world. Prophet Leslie.
Yes, and that's it. We want to change our perspective of the world, our perspective of how we see things. Thank you, Minister Wanda. I never introduced myself. I just went on. Most of you know, and I appreciate each and every one that's on here. Those I haven't seen in a while, and those that come every week. Thank you so much for being here. But I am, and those that come on later or that are listening that don't know who I am. I am Leslie Montgomery, and you are tuned into LKM Kingdom Living, Leslie's Lessons Learned. And Minister Wanda, one of the things that I want to talk about today, and it's kind of not on topic, about Martha. I want to talk about Martha because uh, when her brother died and how she acted. I'm gonna say acted. I don't know if you had read it or not, but think, and let me see, it's John, the 11th chapter. And I just want to speak a minute about it because I thought it was so interesting when I read it. You know, I promise you, Sabbath brings out the best of you when it comes to the word. You see things that you hadn't seen before. And what happens is that when you sit in Sabbath, it opens up your mindset or your perspective. But then through the week, you're still seeing things that you didn't see before. And he says that he'll reveal the secret things. We read it all the time. But when we read it now, we read it differently with a different perspective. You know, I was reading a verse this morning. I'll get back to that. Let me stay focused because I'll be all over the place. And Minister Wanda would be like, wait, what? But in John the 11th chapter and the 22nd verse, 22nd through the 28th verse. And we know that Yeshua was in another part of I can't say country, but another city. And the word had been sent to him that Lazarus was sick. And he stayed where he was and completed what his assignment. And then a few days later, he said, let's go now. And the disciples was like, wait, they looking for you. They want you over there. You sure you want to go? And he said, let's go. So when they go, I'm going to start at 21. And this is St. John's 11:21. I want to say Apostle John. No, he wasn't apostle. So I take that back. But it says, then said Martha unto Yeshua, Lord, if thou had been here, my brother had not died. But I know that even now, whatsoever thou wilt ask of Elohim, Elohim will give it to thee. So right there, she's making a positive statement. She says, I know whatever you ask of Elohim, Yahweh, he'll do it. After she just said, if my brother was here, he would still be alive. But I know whatever you ask uh, Yahweh, he'll do it. And so then it goes on to say, and 23, it says, Yeshua said unto her, thy brother shall rise again. And Martha says unto him, I know that he shall rise again in the resurrection at the last day. So, her mindset and her concept is kind of like, if I could put it in these words, like the video, the man said, I'm blind, help me. And then this woman comes along and says, it's a beautiful day and I can't see it. So it's like two versions of what she's saying. Am I making sense?
Yes.
And
Yes.
so it goes on to say, and Yeshua said unto her, I am the resurrection and the life. It's in me. He that believeth in me, that though he was dead, yet shall he live. And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. Believeth thou this? And this part, she said unto him, Yea, Lord, yea, Adonai. I believe that thou art the Messiah, the Son of Elohim, which should come into the world. Then she says, and when she had said, no, what does it say? And when she, oh yeah, when she had so said, she went her way. She was like, yeah, whatever you say. She goes her way and calls Mary, her sister, secretly saying, the Messiah, the Master is coming and cometh calleth for thee. She was done. Even though she said, I know that Elohim will do whatever you say. And then she turned around and said, I know I'll see him again in the resurrection. She didn't understand what the Father was saying. You know what I mean? And she was like, yeah, okay. And just turned away and walked away. I thought about that. And I thought about life. And a lot of times we'll see things in the word. And even in the word, we'll turn around and say, yeah, but, or yeah, go on about our different. Yeah, I saw that in the word. I think I said that to something you had said yesterday. Yeah, I saw that in the word, but I wasn't sure. I'm not saying that was her posture, but what I'm saying her posture was, did she believe? Did she really believe? She said, yeah, Adonai, and walks away like, whatever you say. But did she believe? She went back to the house and whispered, Mary, the master's here. He wants you, in so many words. And then Mary comes and she says the same thing. It says, as soon as she heard that, she arose quickly and came unto him. Now, Yeshua was not yet come into the town. He wasn't even in the town yet. Martha was like, let me go. I heard he's on his way, rolling up her sleeves and so many words saying and it was the same thing at the meal. She was like, look, if Mary's sitting here instead of helping me, you see her personality in this. I don't know if you have anything you want to add to this, but you see her personality. You see, she was the boisterous one. I'm going to put it that way. And she said what she felt. So Mary goes out. Mary says she hastily went to follow her. Wait a minute. Where am I?
Verse 31.
31. Uh,
The Jews then, which were in the house with her, they comforted her. When they saw Mary, that she rose up hastily and went out, they followed her, saying, She goeth to the grave to weep. Then when Mary was come where Yeshua was, she saw him, and she fell down at his feet, saying to him, Adonai, if thou had been here, my brother would not have died. When Yeshua therefore saw her weeping, and the Jews also weeping, which came with her, he groaned in the spirit and was troubled, and said, Where have you laid him? They said unto him, Adonai, come and see. And Yeshua wept. You want me to keep reading?
well, that's everybody know that verse. You say, what's the shortest verse in the Bible?
Jesus wept.
Yeah.
They know that in the Lord and the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want.
Can you keep reading, please?
Yes, I will. Then the Jews said to him, Behold, how he loved him. And some of them said, Could not this man, which opened the eyes of the blind, have caused that even this man should not have died? So they believed.
And they was like, now wait a minute, this man, yeah. And the fact that they were having a conversation. This is the man that opened the blind eyes.
Yes.
You know,
they're recalling the miracles that he did. Yeah. Jesus, therefore, again, groaning in himself, cometh to the grave. It was a cave, and a stone lay upon it. And Yeshua said, Take ye the stone away. Martha, here she go again. The sister of him that was dead saith unto him, Adonai. Now by this time he stinks, for he has been dead 4 days now. And Yeshua said unto her, Did not say to you that if you would just believe, that you should see the glory of Elohim? Then they took away the stone from the place where the dead was laid. And Yeshua, I love this part. And Yeshua lifted up his eyes and said, Father, Yahweh.
Did nothing of his own.
I thank thee that you have heard me. He ain't even prayed yet, but I need us to pay attention to this prayer and his perspective and his mindset. He said, Yahweh, Father, or Abba in Aramaic, I thank thee that you have heard me, and I knew that you hear me always. But because of the people which stand by, I said it, that they may believe that you have sent me. And when he had thus spoken, he cried with a loud voice, Lazarus, come forth. And he that was dead came forth. Now, mind you, when this is preached and when it's sung, they do it 3 times. Yeshua said it 1 time. One time.
And he did one for the Father, one for the Son, and one
he
for
did all that. Lazarus. He didn't do all that. He said it 1 time. Why? Because he knew
power.
He knew he knew that he'd already heard him. He said that. He said, I thank thee because you've heard me. I haven't even prayed yet, but I know you heard me. And I know that you hear me always. Imagine what that would be like when we would go to the Father in prayer before we even begin to make our supplication. We say, I know you hear me, Father. And I know you hear me always.
Standing on the word.
But for my enemy, the lurkers and the peepers who are standing by, who are listening as well. Yeah, I love this. And he called his name one time, gave him one command: Lazarus, come forth. And he that was dead came forth, bound head and foot with grave clothes. And his face was bound about with a napkin. And Yeshua said unto them, loose him and let him go.
Who'd he say it to? Them.
Them.
The ones that not really questioned, but was waiting and expecting to see what was going to happen. He didn't go over there and lose him. He said, y'all loose him and let him go. He's alive.
That's good. Then many of the Jews which came to Mary and had seen the things which Yeshua did believed on him. But some of them went their ways to the Pharisees. These the lurkers and the peepers. I'm just going to put
The haters.
and they told them what things Yeshua had done. You want to keep reading?
Read. Yeah, you could read to 48.
Okay.
Since we read all that.
You want me to keep reading? Read to 48?
Yeah.
Okay. Then gathered the chief priests and the Pharisees a council and said, what do we do? For this man doeth many miracles. And if we let him alone, all the men will believe on him. And the Romans shall come and take away both our place and our nation.
And that right there, not that I meant to talk about it, but that was always their fear. That he would take away their money and that the Romans would come and take away what they had. They was always worried about the possessions. They was always worried about what people would think and say. And in the process of it, and it says when they came to the chief priests, and every time they came to the chief priests, even when Judas came, they was like, yeah, we got to get rid of him. But the interesting thing, the interesting thing was, even though they had to get them, they always had an excuse. Well, it's a feast time, or we can't touch him now, or if we get him now, the people are going to be in an uproar. You know what I mean? Even though their hearts was wicked, their hearts was that was jealousy. That was jealousy. Here's this man that walking that is the carpenter's son, that's doing all these. Who gives him the right to do these miracles? Who gives him the right to raise Lazarus from the dead? Oh my God, that's just it. This is out of control. He's over there now. He's raising the dead. It's not the first time, but now he's raising the dead. But this was a prominent one. This was Lazarus, that was supporter of Yeshua, and they were outdone. And even though I wasn't planning to go this far, but just to see the mindset of the people, just to see, and really the key thing that I wanted to talk about was Martha and her thought process. She knew the word. You can tell she knew the word, but she didn't know if Yeshua could do what they needed him to do. Could be wrong the way I'm wording it.
No, she absolutely, when you look at it,
she had an attitude.
Well, that partial, somebody wrote it, I believe, but help my unbelief, right? That's kind of where she was. Like, okay, so there's this part. Okay, so if you was here, he wouldn't have died, and all you would have to do was say something and he'd have been well, but now he dead. You
You're too late.
ain't nothing you could do about that. I'll see him again in the resurrection. Yeah, so there's that partial belief. Yeah, I believe that if you were here, you could have healed him. He wouldn't have been sick, but now he dead. So there's nothing you could do about his death. And are we not the same? Yeah, I know that when I had the flu, when I had COVID, you healed me, but now I have stage 4 cancer. And I I believe for that is that's hard. Um, you help provide for me when I needed, some money, but I've been out of work now for 6 months. That's where she was. That went from being sick to now he's dead, and he's not only just dead a couple hours, he's been dead for days. But what I love about this is that if you read other accounts, they came to Yeshua and they told him that Lazarus
Yeah.
is sick, and he purposely did not go for this fact of them seeing the power of Elohim so that they would believe, I am the Messiah. I am the son of Elohim. There was always a purpose. That Yahweh is always intentional.
Everything.
Yeah, always intentional. Nothing comes by happenstance. He was intentional, and it's no different from us. I know you did that, but
This is a whole different
it's
situation.
a whole different thing. This is a whole different thing. And that's where Martha was, the same one that was busy in the house and all of this and cooking and busy and making biscuits and in there juicing watermelon for fresh
Wow.
juice and frying chicken all at the same time, right? And making salad and Mary in there at his feet, worshiping and listening and learning. And she was like, "Do you see what I'm doing in this kitchen? I'm working. I'm busy. I'm. You got all these people here. They gotta eat. Can you tell her to
This
come?
tell this little girl.
Yeah, to come and help." And he like, "Leave her alone. You should be in here, paying attention and learning too." But that's how it was, And even Mary, she didn't say a whole lot. She didn't say a whole lot. She said, if you had been here, that my brother would not have died. And he saw her weeping. And that's all she said. She didn't say anything else, And he did this for the sake of those that did not believe. What I love about this is that you do have Jews there that it made them believe. The difference in this death, Prophet Leslie, is that the other people, like with the daughter, she hadn't been dead very long. With the son, but the daughter, when he said Talitha Kumbe,
Oh, yeah.
Talitha Kumbe, damsel arise.
Yes.
She literally she was dead, but she hadn't been dead a long time. But Lazarus, that's the difference, because those we can kind of, we can make excuses for those. Okay, you know what? We made a mistake. She really wasn't dead. She was asleep. We would say, "Oh, child, she was in a coma." That's what happened, and she woke up, right? And that's basically what he would say, that the person is sleeping, right? Same thing he said with Lazarus. Oh, he's just sleeping. right? And when he said that, the people around laughed. That they were laughing. She's just sleeping. They laughed, and then he spoke to her, and she rose. But this time, for even a greater purpose, Lazarus had been dead 4 days. 4 days. He not just sleeping. He's dead 4 days. And Yeshua prayed and he came forth. That was the difference. And the Pharisees, what were they concerned about? Their titles. They're gonna take our place. You're gonna take our titles. We're the Pharisees. We're the scribes. We're the sages. And their Rome is gonna come and take our title. We're not gonna have our churches no more. We're not gonna be the leaders no more. That's what they were worried about. Instead of looking and being excited that the one that they had read about, the one that they had been waiting for, the one that had been prophesied about had come. And even with that, they still murmured and complained and didn't believe.
Yeah. And if you go back up to verse 11, it says, what did he say? He says, these things said he, and after that he said unto them, our friend Lazarus is sleeping, but I go that I may awake him out of his sleep. He, you know, he wasn't, he knew what he was like, yeah, he gonna get up, because if it had to be even like should I say, I don't even know if I should say a replica, but it was symbolic to him rising up after his death, burial, and his resurrection. It was symbolic to that. But something you said, I wanted to speak on, but I don't remember what it was. So, yeah, the process of belief.
Mm,
That's a good topic. The
mhm,
process of belief, that each person has a different level of belief. Um, each Everybody doesn't believe on the same level. Everybody is not taught how to believe and really take him at his word. Uh, they'll tell you to trust him in faith, um, but the process of believing took, and I'm going to say it this way, signs, wonders, and miracles.
mm.
It,
I agree.
yeah, we had the word,
Mhm,
but he always comes through to show us what he is capable of. Even in our lives,
mhm.
he is capable of rising us up out of situations and issues that we are not sure of. Well, I know you paid my rent last week or last month, but this time my car is broken. It's more money. And then you want to try to figure out how to make it work because you don't have enough faith to believe that what he's done in the past, he'll do for you the same. Why are you laughing?
Because it's true.
Oh,
Because it's the truth. That's why.
oh. So even with that, and trying to now, Martha, like you said, she was always in this position of I think she was maybe it's got to be done now. You got to do it this way. Everything had to have order. Everything had to have a step. And it had to be the way she thought it should be. Why do we say that? She went in there and said, now look, this little girl is sitting here at your feet among all these other leaders and stuff like that, instead of helping me, which we are preparing for you and everybody else that's here. Tell
Her
her to
place
get
is
up.
in the kitchen. Her place in the kitchen. That's
Right,
where we supposed to be. In the kitchen.
right.
While the men folk talk. That's where she's supposed to be at.
So, but just the fact that she had, you could see her personality. You can see what she was about, and the fact that that one part that really got me was when she said, "Okay," and walked away. She was like, almost like, in my perspective, if you say so, or I'm going on back to what I was doing because it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't think she was pleased with
The
his
answer,
his response. Yeah. I don't
yeah,
think she was pleased with his response. And let me say this for the record. Not just that, our place was in the kitchen and the men folk were out there culturally. That's what the women did.
right,
They
exactly,
prepared while the people gathered. If there is a gathering, in the home, studies, the women prepared the food. And so that's why Martha was upset, because culturally, this is what you're supposed to be doing. And I'm in here doing all the work, and you in here. And then
yeah.
she was like, can you tell her?
She was
Because
like,
if you say something,
right, how you gonna let us sit here? She was done. She was done. She was done with the fact that he was even allowing this. How can you allow this? How can you come after my brother is dead? How can you allow Mary to sit here amongst y'all at your feet? And I'm the one in the kitchen, and I'm sure she had others helping her doing all this. And tell her, she'll listen to you, to get in the kitchen, because she's supposed to be helping me, not sitting at your feet. And he's like, Martha, Martha, Martha. You was going to say something?
no. I'm thinking, chill out.
Martha. That's what he said. Like, Martha. Like, oh my God. The fact that he even knew how to deal with Martha. He didn't let her get the best of him. And as he always did, he just gave her the word back. When she questioned him before he got to the graveside, he gave her the word back. He always centered everything around the word. And if we think of how things happen or in our own lives, when we go to him and we're like, and yeah, 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 and yeah, 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 and this is happening and that's happening, he's going to say, go to the word. Go see what Adonai is saying. Your answer is in the word. In so many words, that's how it is. He always, even we can talk about him in the wilderness and how the enemy, he didn't just come, he was there all the time. And what did he do? He gave him the word. There was nothing he could do with the word, even though he tried. So it says he went away for a season. He was aggravated. But here we see that he always turned everybody to the word, what was inside of him. He said, the word is in me. He said, but this is what the word says. I'm the walking word. And I'm telling you, Martha, calm down. She desires the word. That's what he was saying in so many words. She desired the word. How many of us are taking the opportunity to slow down, pace ourselves. And that's he's like, Martha, slow down, pace yourself. I'm here now. He's going to rise. And Martha was like, okay, and walks away through the scheme of things. Then here we go again at the dinner. Martha, pace yourself. Slow down. It's going to get done. Before they got to the gravesite, it's going to get done. That's what he was saying. He's going to rise. It's going to get done. Can I leave this word with you today? It's going to get done. He has an answer for where you are and what you're going through in the word. We don't want to take the time and go to the word. We're popcorn society. Put it in the microwave, pop the popcorn, let's sit down and eat it, and all is good. He's letting her know this is not an instant thing. He waited. He didn't even come right away. Relax. It's going to work out. I don't care what it looks like. It's going to work out. Peace be still. When he prayed, he was bringing peace, calmness to the situation. It wasn't like, they was up there like wondering. And I wonder, it doesn't say what Martha did. Well, after he rose him from the dead, it don't say she came back and said, I'm sorry, or anything like that, but it does say, and I was trying to find the particular verse where it says that in remembrance of what he did, they prepared a dinner. He hadn't died yet. So the remembrance of what he did was the fact that he rose the brother from the dead. So we know that the appreciation was there. I feel like I'm just
No, you're so
yeah.
it's good, and so many things are coming to mind. Martha couldn't get past the present situation. She couldn't look further than her circumstances and her situation. And like you said, he was like, it's gonna get done. Pace yourself. We got time. We're gonna eat. You can come here and sit.
At my feet.
Learn these lessons, these parables. You can learn the word as well. It'll get done. We can eat later. She was so busy, so concerned about what was needed to be done, and he's saying, leave her. And she had the opportunity to sit as well. Same thing. He's telling her, she's so focused on he's dead. If you had been here, he would not have died. He is dead. Now you're coming. And he's saying, yeah, but he'll rise. Is going to rise. She went straight to, of course, the present circumstances and situations. Yes, he will rise again in the resurrections. I get all that. Still not being able to look past the situation, the circumstances, and hear the word. That he will rise. Go ahead.
The only thing I could think of is a sister. If you had a been there, the whole attitude. I'm sorry.
Either that or just screaming and hollering, because it can be dramatic sometimes too. But she could not get past what I'm facing now. The other time I'm facing, we got a crowd, everybody got to eat. I have to do what culturally I'm supposed to do, instead of like Mary, like I'm taking advantage of this teaching. He's sitting here teaching and spending time and talking with us. I'm going to sit here and hear the word. Martha is busy doing what she thinks is necessary
Necessary.
because culturally that's correct. How
Yeah.
many times have we not taste ourselves, sat down, listen to the word? The answers are in the word because we're too busy doing what we think we're supposed to do that needs to be done to get it fixed. When he's saying, like you say, it's gonna get done. Just sit down and listen to what I have to say about the circumstances and the situations, because I have the answer. What did Yeshua say? I know that you've heard me. If we can have that attitude, we could have that attitude and sit down, pace yourself, sit at his feet, listen to what he's saying, understanding that, yes, I do have a circumstance. Yes, I do have a situation, but I prayed about it. I know you heard me. And I know you always hear me when I pray. So I'm going to pace myself. I'm going to let the circumstance, the situation stay over there and take care of itself. And when I get to it, I get to it. But right now, I'm going to sit down at your feet and hear what you have to
I
say.
got some stuff to learn. But think about it, because even when we go back to the tomb, and how I can imagine the talk of the people that was around her, because one of the things that said, they said, this man shouldn't have never died because of who he is. Can you imagine the talk that the friends that came to support? It's almost like when you think about the friends of Job and when they came to support him, the talk that was going around. I don't know why he wasn't here, and why he let him die. And then they had the nerve to be at the stone talking about,
Ain't this
he
the
shouldn't have
one
died.
open the blinded eyes?
Our friends.
Right. Ain't wait now ain't this the one that was opening the blinded eye? Ain't this the one that the man with at the pool of Bethesda, he told him to take up his bed and walk, and he walked. And what about, remember the woman who touched the hem? Child, she had been bleeding for 12 long years, and she just touched his garment, and she was healed. Now what happened? Why he didn't come? Why he didn't save Lazarus? People will do that to you.
Yeah,
I remember. Well, where's your Jesus at now?
that's it right there.
I promise you. I remember.
The
Where's your Jesus
Pharisees and the
now?
Sadducees knew what they was talking about.
Mhm.
He's an imposter. He's not who he said he was. He allowed his friend to die. We have to be careful of what we allow into our psyche. We can go back to, me. We can go back to Eve. Did
But didn't he say? Who you listening to? That's the first thing Yahweh said. Who you been talking to?
yeah.
Who you been talking to? Because I know. How you know you naked? We was naked and we hid ourselves. Who told you was naked? Who you been talking to? How many times have we said things out of our mouths?
All a lot, all the time.
why would you have allowed my baby to die?
Mm.
Why would you allow me to lose my job? Why would you I prayed uh my my former first lady. There was word given that she would be fine. We spent days at the church praying for her and that she would be fine. And we up at the hospital praying, believing we did what we knew to do, right? Believing that Yahweh was going to hear us and answer us. And we got the answer that we got the report that she looked out of the window, started smiling, and then she left here.
Mm.
I remember coming home crying because I loved me some her and was like, that's not what you said. we spent days praying. And that's not what you said. We got word that she was gonna be fine. You were gonna heal her. She was gonna be fine. You took her. Why would you allow her to die? We still need her. We love her. Why would you allow her to die? There is an appointed time for everyone to be birthed into the earth and for them to leave the earth. And it's not based on our timetable. Now, could he have spoken a word and raised her up? Absolutely. He did it for Hezekiah. He probably should have let Hezekiah die. Hezekiah shouldn't have asked for them extended years. He should just he should have just went on home. But could he have changed the verdict? Could he have? Yes, he could have. But there was an appointed time. But for us, we didn't understand it at all. Why would you have let her die? Just like these people are watching and looking and questioning. You did all that for the other people. We've prayed for everybody else and they recovered. They were healed. We watched cancer be healed. We watched a man who couldn't even eat, had throat cancer, couldn't even eat, was down to almost as big as my finger. And Yahweh kept praying and fasting, and Yahweh restored him. One holiday, he was like, let me take a rib, and ate that, and it stayed down. Give me another one. Ate that, and it stayed down. Yahweh had healed him, came back, he preached, and he ended up leaving here another way, tragically. But Yahweh heard and answered our prayers. We had so many stories about us praying and Yahweh healing, but this one, why didn't you do that for her? That's what they were saying to Mary and Martha about Lazarus. He helped all those people. Why did he let Lazarus die? Because there was a purpose and a plan that was in place. It was so that those that did not believe, they would believe. He's always intentional.
Always.
Never think that something is just happening by happenstance. Your life, he is intentional about your life.
And what did he say in 15? And I'm glad for your sake that I was not here.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
To the intent, you just talked about him being intentional. Ye may believe. Nevertheless, he said, let us go unto him. Let's go find him. Take me to him. If I had have been here and I did it right away, you would have just thought I was a Christmas or a Santa Claus or something. But because I needed you to see that it's in my Father,
Yeah.
that I needed you to see that I'm just the vessel that He uses, and for Him to pray and say, Father, I know really I don't have to pray, but I need to pray for their sake. Yes,
Yes, thank-
Apostle, their sake.
Yeah.
He said, I'm in your hand, and let your will be done.
They
And
needed to see something that only Elohim could do. Because those other things they could kind of make excuses for. They could talk that into, oh, it was just this. But they needed, like he said, he clearly said in 14, then Yeshua said to them plainly, oh, Lazarus is dead.
read the 16. Yeah.
He's dead. And I'm glad for your sakes that I was not there. Now he's talking to his disciples now. He ain't
That's what
talking to the people around.
look at 16.
He talking to his disciples. And he said, let me go back to 2:14. Then Yeshua said to them, the disciples, plainly, that Lazarus is dead. Oh, yeah, he dead. For real dead. He dead. He's dead. And I'm glad for your sakes that I was not there, to the intent that you may believe. His disciples, the ones that walked with him daily, the ones that sleeping with him and watching him do the miracles, that you may believe. Nevertheless, let's go to him. Then said Thomas,
Who?
doubt
Thomas.
Thomas, the one that
That's
was
what he
like,
talked
I
about.
gotta
That's
see,
what I wanted to get to.
I gotta see the nail. I don't believe until I see the nails in his hand, the holes in his hands and his feet and in his side. Thomas,
the first person.
the first person that was called Didymus to his fellow disciples. They called him Didymus. Let us go too, that we may die with him. Leslie, I love you, but I don't want to die with you. I do. I love you. I love you with my whole heart.
Oh my God.
So what they gonna do? Let us go so we can die too. How y'all gonna die? Y'all gonna throw yourselves off a cliff? What you gonna do?
No, they was afraid of the people, the Pharisees and the scribes, and they was like, "You go up in there, they gonna kill you." And then they was like, "All right, we going with you. We just gonna die with you."
That's so crazy. That's so crazy.
Since we following you anyway.
That's so crazy.
Like, Apostle.
He was from Missouri, the believe me state, the show me state. he was because he
That's so
believe
funny.
He didn't believe nothing. You saw this man, and he told you. He literally
walked
told
with
you,
him.
"I'm coming back." Well, child, I ain't believe it till I see the proof. I need proof. And he appears, Thomas. See my hands. See my feet. Now you believed
Because you saw it.
because you saw it.
Come on now. Oh my
You
goodness.
believe because you saw it.
Woo!
But blessed are those that have not seen, but believe.
You gotta believe. Come on now.
Y'all didn't really see him hanging on the cross. You didn't see the nail-scarred hands and the feet, but you believe the word.
Come on.
You believe the word. So blessed are the ones that haven't seen and they believed. Those the ones that are blessed.
Hallelujah.
Those are the ones that are blessed because they believe I came, I gave my life, I hung, bled, and died so they could live What did he say? Those that die will yet live. Right? Because we die to ourselves and we believe in the word, and his word gives us life, and that more abundantly.
Do
I'm
you
so
believe?
grateful. I'm so grateful.
Do you take him at his word? Are you willing to position yourself to allow him to do what he wants to do? Relax. Take it easy. Allow him to do what he wants to do. So
Child, look.
pace yourself.
Whew.
You're going to have to go through, but you got to come through, not go through. You got to come through. And wherever you are right now and whatever you're facing, do you believe that he can bring you out? Are you going to take him at his word? Stand on his word. You got to stand on his word. You got to say, Father, your word says this, and I believe your word. So today, look, I'm just messed up from those that haven't even seen me on the cross, didn't see me when I rose again, didn't see me taking your stripes to be healed, didn't see me for bruised for your iniquity, didn't see me go through the process, but you still believe. I have shown myself faithful to you before. I have done things that would make you be able to say, I know you'll do it again. But because of our feeble mind, we wonder. He did it, but is he going to do it again? Doubting Thomas said, he died, but where's the proof? He walked with him. He saw him heal. He saw him deliver. He saw him set free. He sat at his feet. He heard the word. He learned the word and still doubted. How many of us are willing to take that type of doubt off the table? As Minister Wanda said, I believe. Apostle said it too. But help my unbelief. Our unbelief is what gets us in trouble. It delays the process. It causes us to have to go through sometimes things that we shouldn't have to go through if we just believe.
I want to read something really quick
And
before
we'll
we
close out with that.
leave, because we're talking about believing the word. Matthew 13, Yeshua talks to them. And he says, behold, the sower went forth to sow. And when he sowed some seeds fell by the wayside. And the fowls came and devoured them up. And then some fell upon stony places where they had not much earth. And forthwith they sprung up because they had no deepness of earth. And when the sun was up, they were scorched. And because they had no root, they withered away. And some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprung up and choked them. But others, they fell into good ground, and they brought forth fruit, some 100-fold, some 60-fold, and some 30-fold. Now, who has ears to hear, let them hear. And then he goes on to explain it. Because it is given to you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. He's talking to his disciples. But to them it's not given. So I have to teach the people in parables. For whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever hath not, from him shall it be taken away. even that he has. So let me read what he meant about the parables. So he said, "Hear ye therefore the parable of the sower. When anyone hears the word," I want us to pay attention to this. "Anyone who hears the word of the kingdom and understands it not, then cometh the wicked one and catches away that which was sown in his heart. This is he which received his seed by the wayside. But he that received the seed into stony places, the same is he that hears the word and with joy receives it. But yet hath he not root in himself, but he endures for a little while. For when tribulation or persecution arises because of the word, by and by he is offended.
Mm.
He also that receives seed among the thorns is he that hears the word, and the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becomes unfruitful. But he that receives the seed into good ground is he that heareth the word, understands the word, and he is the one who beareth fruit. And he brings forth in that fruit some 100, some 60, and some 30. So we want to be the ones that hear the word, receive that word, believe that word, stand on that word, and then we will bring forth much fruit.
Planted by the rivers of water and shall not be moved. Listen, I'm excited. The word always excites me, even more these days. The more of the understanding I'm getting of it, I love the word. And as my life is being transformed, I can't talk about anybody else, but my life is being transformed to be more of a believer, more of just one that quotes the word, but to stand on the word and believe it. And we always say, and I want to end with this. Um, uh, a world without you is like a world without color. We need you to stand on his word, take him at his word, and do not doubt. When we doubt is when we give up. When we doubt is when we no longer want to live. But I want to promise you today that this where you are right now, it might seem like you're dying. It might seem like life is overwhelming. But if you stand on his word, if you allow him through his word to love you through the process, I promise you, this too will pass. So as you go about your day, don't try to force yourself being what he wants you to be. Pace yourself. Allow him to teach you. Allow to grow in those areas. And when he does it, it's done right. And as Alicia always tells us, you won't have to go back and do it over again. So I want you to be peace, walk in peace, walk in love, let go of the doubt, because doubt is what causes you to not make it. And I want to leave you with this scripture, Ephesians chapter 3, verse 20. Now unto him that is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that worketh in us.
That's the
Your
word.
glory and honor. When you go to the next verse, it says to the end, without end. Amen.
Amen.
Without end. So he's talking, he says, unto him be glory in the church by Yeshua HaMashiach throughout all age, forever. There's no end to his love for you, his compassion towards you, and the word that will bring you out. He said, tittle or dot will pass away, but my word will never pass away. So listen, we love you,
Yes.
each and every one of you. We are so glad you came through. Some of you was able to stay. Some, I know you're going to church, different things, but I pray that you would go back and listen to the replay, and that's something that wherever that void is, that void would begin to be filled, that you don't have to question the Father. Martha questioned him. You don't have to question him, but you believe, stand on his word, and do not doubt, and he will see you through. Apostle, thank you so much for stopping in today.
Yes.
We appreciate it. Every one of you. We appreciate your support and we thank you. But listen, before we leave, hit that like sign, subscribe, and share so someone else can have a change of heart of believing whether the Father can do it or not. Why? Because he can.
He can.
Love you, but I can never love you. We can never love you like Yahweh. Yahweh loves you with an unconditional love, and his desire is that your life be changed.
Yes.
So believe it. Take him at his word. Take him because he loves you more than anything. Until the next time. Oh, this week, Wednesday, I will be in Philadelphia, and we will be doing a live at HGI Higher Ground Church in Roxbury, PA. So I look forward to it with Pastor Wanda Martin. And so I look forward to it, and I'm excited about it. We've tried to do it twice, and we haven't been able to do it. We believe this time is the time. So join us. It'll be Facebook, it'll be on YouTube, but it'll also be live. So until next time, have an amazing day. And remember, we love you.
Yes.